Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of 10-Minute Trades. In this video series, we basically pick a ticker, usually requested by the audience. So right off the bat, leave me a ticker symbol below in terms of what video you want me to make next. And always, just please drop a comment below for the YouTube algorithm. I really appreciate that. And let's just get right into it. So the ticker that I'm going to be looking at today is GameStop, ticker symbol GME. And if you're not familiar, this has been in the news for the past 2 days because they recently announced a multi-year partnership with Microsoft. If I zoom out here, you can see GameStop has not been doing well at all. I mean, I would not touch this stock with a 10-foot pole because ever since 2013, it has just been down and to the right. I mean, this stock is the complete opposite of a stock that you would want to go long on or trade the wheel strategy on in terms of options. But if I zoom in here, this is the daily chart. So each candle here represents 1 day of trading. You can see for the past few months, it's pretty much been flat, just kind of being a penny stock, right? Ever since, let's just say May of this year to somewhere around August, it's been trading around in the low $4 range. So it qualifies as a penny stock. Again, in my opinion, penny stocks are very speculative. They have high risk, but they can also have high reward. Because that partnership was announced on October 8th, you can see this big green candle. And this day alone, GameStop was up 44% that day off that big news that broke. So let's just do some technical analysis on it because I wonder if, I'm sure a lot of people are getting itchy to try and trade this stock. And I'm going to try and identify areas of support and resistance and possibly some trend to help us make better decisions. So let's get right into it. Long-term viewers know the first thing I like to do is draw some Fibonacci retracement levels. And what I chose to do was draw a fib level from the most recent level of the low on about April 3rd. And then I drew it to the high of this day on October 8th, which was somewhere around $13 and some change. So it looked a little bit like this. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, why didn't you draw it all the way to the high the following day? And I thought about that, but if I draw it like this, it did not fit the data as well. If you look at some of these fib levels here, you can see that they don't really coincide that well to areas of what I think are support and resistance. If I draw it back down to the intraday high on October 8th, you can see this fib level here at 78.6% correlates really nicely to an area of resistance on these trading days back in June. And then again, right here at the 61.8% Fibonacci level, there's an area of support here back on September 14 and 15. And then even here, there's some resistance and support for a few days of trading at the 38.2% Fibonacci level. So I think this is a more accurate fib retracement. So we'll stick with that for now. And now I'm going to zoom in here and let's just get right into it. So these are, again, daily candles. So each candle represents 1 day of trading. So let's try to identify some areas of support and resistance. The first area I noticed, and this is probably the easiest one, was going to be right here. Pretty much coincides, like I said, with this 78.6% Fibonacci level at roughly about $5. I mean, I could move this up a few cents here and there. The important thing to remember is these levels of trend are not exact levels. I'm not saying $5.09 is the exact area of support. These are more areas. So somewhere around the low $5 or the high $4 is going to be an area of support somewhere in this vicinity. Okay, so let's keep working there. The next level I identified was a little bit higher up at about $6.50. And a lot of this is going to be based on historical price data because you don't see a lot of price action here recently, right? So if I zoom out here, you can see back in basically a year ago, October of 19, December of 2019, there was an area of resistance. We kind of topped out at this level. So I thought that was going to be an area of support as well. Again, there's not a lot of price action here. There's only 3 or 4 days of trading recently this year at that level. But looking back historically, and you can even see here on April 14th of this year, the intraday high got pretty much right up to that level. So I think this is going to hold up, but let's keep moving on. I think another area of support is going to be right here at about $9 because again, you can see there's multiple wicks and candles that bounced off $9 in the past trading month. Now, if I zoom out here, Not a lot of price data, but you can see if I zoom in here all the way back in 2019, in April and in May, again, we topped out at about $9. There was some resistance there before we sold off more. So I think that area of resistance is going to hold up as well. Let's zoom back in more for current trading. Now, two other areas of trend that I identified. I'm going to do it in one after the other. It's going to be right here, another one up here. So somewhere about $8 and somewhere a little over $10. Now, these I'm a little bit more iffy about because, again, there's not a lot of price data here. It does look like there was a little bit of resistance here for the past few trading days on early September at about $8. Now, the real question was this level here at around $10.40 because, again, not a lot of price action and we had this big movement here. So there's not a lot of data to determine what was acting as support or resistance. But I'm going to take this one with a grain of salt and leave it at that and see how it holds up. Again, if I zoom out, there's not a lot of historical price data. I mean, yes, there are some candles here that may have topped out back in March of 2019. But again, at about $8, not a lot of price data. There's maybe 3 or 4 candles here. Again, end of May, beginning of June of 2019, where it may have been acting as resistance. But right now, it almost seems like every dollar is an area of support. We have $5, about $6, about $8, about $9, about $10. We closed Friday at $12, and this Fibonacci level here, the 23.6% Fibonacci level, is at $11. So that might act as an area of support as well. It basically seems that every dollar is an area of support. Now, we did have a sell-off here the next trading day on October 9th, and I think that was expected. Anytime you're going to get a 44% run-up in price, you know there's going to be a little bit of profit taking the next day, in my opinion. So that's probably what happened here. I think we're still going to have a little bit more of a sell-off come market open tomorrow and maybe the day after, because we are overbought on the RSI curve here. We actually been overbought for quite some time, even before this big run-up. But the other thing is, like I said, I haven't identified really any area of support down until about 11 or kind of the mid $10 range. So I think we will have a little bit of a sell-off down to at least $11 in the next few trading days. Now, the next thing was, here's this orange line, which represents the 21-day moving average, and this pink line represents the 50-day moving average. If I zoom out here, you can see for the past few months, the stock has been trading very closely to both the pink and the orange line. It pretty much just kind of swings above and below it all the time. It never really strays far away. But as you can see, the past few trading days, we're actually quite far away from the orange line and very far away from the pink line. So again, I think we are going to have a pullback closer to the 21-day moving average, which is probably going to be somewhere in the high 9s or low $10 range by the time we touch it, if we touch it. So again, I am expecting a bit of a pullback. Now, you can see we've been trading flat for a few months and kind of made a curve like this. It wasn't a linear move. It was a curved or a parabolic move. So it was really difficult for me then to draw a trend line because, like I said, it wasn't really a straight line. So then I tried to identify a channel, and I came up with something like this. I tried to incorporate the bottoms of a few of these candles here, or as many as I can actually, from about August 25th to really October 7th. And then again, the top of this channel, I tried to incorporate the tops of as many candles from about September 1st to about September 29th. And you can see for a few trading days, actually 2 trading days from September 22nd to 23rd, we did break out of this channel, but promptly sold off to get right back in it. Well, again, October 8th, we definitely broke out of this channel and we're still trading above it, but we did have a bit of a pullback. So I do think there is going to be a downward pressure to keep trading kind of closer to this parallel channel, which is also closer to the 21-day moving average. I think that in the next few trading days, in the short term, GameStop is going to get down to at least $11, probably closer to the mid $10. That's my opinion. Again, none of this is financial advice, but this is just my thoughts and my opinion based on what I'm seeing on this technical analysis. That pretty much sums it up. I mean, I would personally be too scared to play options on this because it's been a little bit overhyped, in my opinion, on this news. I really believe in that phrase, buy the rumor, sell the news. And now that the news has broke, I think there's going to be a decent sized sell-off. So I would not want to be caught bag holding this stock because, as we can see, it has not had a good trend in the long term. I mean, for the past 7 years, basically, we've been slowly selling off this ticker. So this is not a stock that I personally would want to hold long term or want to get assigned shares on if I'm trying to wheel this or sell cash good puts. One way you could trade options on this if you had a bearish sentiment like I do would be to sell call credit spreads, because you can basically play the upside hoping that the stock trades lower and lower to ideally collect max profit and have a bearish trade on. Let me know if you have any shares or if you've ever traded GameStop. Let me know what your thoughts are, if you agree or disagree with my technical analysis. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and happy trading.